Good Monday morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with a daily technical update. It is the 18th of March and it comes after a Friday where we saw the S&P 500 touching or testing the low rising trend line here. Not the lowest one, we also had this one coming up here. It's not the strongest one really, only with these 2 points. So this is actually much more interesting with several inflection points testing it. If breaking below, when we are looking at 5,057, that is the key support for it to hold. Nasdaq 100, very interesting Friday, closed bang on 17,808, key support. We had this bearish engulfing here, top and reversal candle, so now we could actually see this expected correction unfolding. RSI is declining. A move below, or we dip below, but a close below, then we are looking at 17,478, so around this level where we also have the 55 moving average coming up, giving some support, and there is some support in this area. Whether it is exactly that point is debatable, but it is in that area around 17,500. EUROSTOXX 50, 2 days in a row, you can see markets spiked a little bit higher. We had this Gravestone, it's more like a little bit of a shooting star, but not really. But still, buyers couldn't hold it up. Testing the lower rising trend line here, very steep rising trend line, so it's not the strongest one. But still, we could see a correction unfolding, but it's not confirmed yet. However, we have certain warning signs with a long running divergence on the RSI, who hasn't really cancelled. It was very close to here though, so we are very stressed on the EUROSTOXX, but again, uptrend hasn't turned around just yet. Also interesting on DAX with this gravestone doji-like candle here. I would say it was a shooting star if it was a little bit longer on the shadow or the wick, but here gravestone doji market couldn't really keep it up, so the next couple of days could be interesting. If we get a negative day, well then we 17,620 on DAX to keep an eye on, and that could be tested. AX 25 out of Amsterdam. With this negative candle here, it's almost like a Pearson line. It was more or less just closed just around the mid of this candle here, so it's not 100% a top reversal candle, but still we open higher, close lower. So sellers are currently a little bit in control, but 837 and 831, that gap area is the key one to look out for. But here we have actually two. We had a shooting star on the 14th, then we had almost a similar one the day after, which is quite interesting. Twice they tried to push higher but couldn't hold up. Sellers took back control, and negative day today, I will say. Then we have a top and reversal pattern, likely testing this rising trend line. Key support 78.75 and this gap area right there. Switzerland finally, and I think we should have just a revisit on the weekly chart. It was actually this top here, 11,808, just a few cents below. It couldn't really, what are we talking about, 18,000, 17,999.91, so, and that now it got tired back below 11,600, and I think we could see a bit of correction down to around 11,500, maybe a little bit lower on SMI. On to FX and euro dollar. As we talked about last week, we have these moving averages. We have 55 coming down, but we have the 100 and 200 moving up, and 100 crossing over the 200 with both ascending. So we have an inflection here, and that's why I think we could see euro dollar being a little bit range bound in this area between 108.30 and up to around 109 and a bit, but with a positive underlying undertone, because we have a positive sentiment on the RSI, and the most of the moving averages are actually ascending, where the 55 is descending. So, and I think they will win eventually, but it will struggle a little bit for some upside potential. Cable correction could be over. Let's see. I mean, we have the positive sentiment on the RSI. If we get RSI back above 60, expect new highs in in cable here, and let's have a look where we can actually move to. Then there's room up to 130, possibly up to 131, and I think it could be a fairly strong move in cable if it moves back above these levels here around 177.5. Yen pairs on the move also. We have dollar yen this morning. Again, it also did it Friday, testing the 149.20 key resistance, which is also the 61.8 retracement of this sell-off here. Negative sentiment on the RSI, so we're a little bit on a knife's edge here. If we do get a close above, then I think we could see a push higher to 150, possibly 151 is level on dollar yen. Otherwise, then we could see a setback down to 148 level. Euro yen currently above the 61.8 retracement, 162.38. We are in a positive sentiment. It has broken its falling trend here, and if it moves back above 60, then it will confirm uptrend has resumed, and we will see. I'm fairly confident we will see higher levels above the 163.72, 165 potentially, because what we can do, we can just have a little bit of a look at. Let's see if we do. Why isn't it there? Let me add that just very quickly to it. We have 161.8 and we have 138.2. Move up to around 165, 166-ish level. Aussie yen, I think we will test the 98 and 98.20 key resistance here. A close above, a break above, I think it will be enough, because we are in a positive sentiment. And you have to think about it. Sometimes I say break above, sometimes I close above. There's a difference, and it's really important. In this case here, I think a break above will be enough for a push higher, because we are already in a positive sentiment on Aussie yen with a potential to test 99. Sterling yen never really broke below 187.85, key support area here, and we are in a positive sentiment similar to Euro yen. It seems like we are moving back higher to on the sterling yen. There will be a report out later today, around lunchtime here today, on all the yen pairs. 192.60. I think we could see that in the coming days or weeks. Moving on to the dollar Swiss this time. We can't do them all, but the ones that is quite interesting, we have dollar Swiss moving higher after being rejected at 87.40 key support, and I think we could test the 89 again, which is the resistance. We are still in this range here, but we have a positive undertone, so expect a push towards that. Dollar yen is the dollar index is just as frustrating as your dollar. We are below the declining 100 and declining 200. It crossed over there. So I think they will win the war against the rising 55 moving average. We can still see a little bit push to test these moving averages here. But the trend is down with the lower lows and lower highs. And with negative sentiment on the RSI, I think we will see dollar index moving towards 102. Gold spot here. Correction ongoing after we have this top and reversal pattern. We could see 21.34 being tested, but it is not unlikely we'll see a dip down to the 38.2 retracement at 21.15. A spike down, and then I think we will see uptrend resuming a bounce back higher. Bullish or positive on the RSI sentiment, so still in an uptrend. It's just a correction we are facing as it looks at the moment. Silver seems to be on its way to 26, struggling a little bit for momentum now. We could see another test of the 24.60 key support, but we are in a bullish trend on short and medium term. Finally, let's have a quick look at copper. That is very close to the 417, but the key resistance is around here 419.5 and 429.5, around 430. We are in a positive sentiment. We are in a bullish trend after breaking this deadlock here, and there is potential higher in coming weeks. On the On the energy side, we have some interesting moves on the WTI that finally did close above the 79.77. Next resistance 82.56, but I think it's not that strong, and we will possibly see a move up to around the 84 and a half level, where we had the 61.8 retracement of this, but we had the 138.2 projection of this range here. Brent crude oil also a higher resistance at 87.35, but potential up to 89.5, 90.5 level. We are in an uptrend, positive sentiment supporting that picture. Finally, let's have a look at gas that is really pushing higher with a strong move the past couple of days into last week and also this morning. Strong resistance at 31. I think that could be tested, but we are close to the 786 retracement at 29.31. That should be observed straight through the 61.8. So I think we will see a test of 31 euros there. Also, Henry Hub gas trying to push higher. Seems like sellers can't push it lower towards the previous lows. But if we can get back above 180.81, we could see another push towards the $2. Finally, on the US 10-year yields, key strong resistance at 4.35, and also here a little bit similar to what we saw on your dollar and the dollar index. We have declining 100, but we have rising 200, and we have rising 55. So a little bit of a clash there. We could see some range bounding, but with a positive undertone, where we have the positive sentiment on the RSI, giving a little bit of support and a little bit of lift towards the 4.35 level. That's all for today. Have a nice day and happy trading.